Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I am Dale. Welcome to the table where we do tarot. And I just want to say to everybody, take in a deep breath, okay? Take in a deep breath, hold it, and let it go. And that is the easiest way to just chill when you're feeling a little bit antsy, okay? It's accessible to us all the time. And we rarely do it because the things that are best for us and the easiest are like just something that we really don't like to do. So I'm going to start us out with the herbal astrology oracle, and I just wanted to split it and see what came up because the weaver was at the bottom, this lavender, which we read last time, and blue lotus is what it split to. And both of those flowers, these are like chill flowers. These are what I know of blue lotus is that people use it, they'll smoke it or they'll make a tea for what can I say? What can I call it? It's not really like getting high, but I guess it sort of is. It's like for enlightenment and calming. Okay. So I'm interested to see what's on it. There's some birds here, and I was just reading Theo of Golden, and they were talking a lot about birds in the chapter that I just read. And birds are really they're messengers to us, okay? And their feathers, when a feather is left, now I understand that there can be feathers in obvious places where birds are, but I always see feathers as being like a sign of just something special. It's a it's a gift. If you think about it, it's like if a bird was like, "Look at this human hair that I found. What a gift." But really they do. Sometimes they do use hair in their nests and things like that. And one of the practices of like it's kind of like an old voodoo thing to where they say they say like don't throw your hair away. You're supposed to burn it or something from like a haircut because that's people can use it for cursing and things like that. And or birds can like put it up in their nest and then it can make you like spacey, so we always find symbolism in things. And so when I see feathers, a lot of people associate it with angels, but angels, the concept of angels sort of looking like people and having feathers, that's a very human concept of it, from what I understand of like what the Bible says and what other people say who can see them or have seen them. They're like these things that are kind of scary with a bunch of eyes and they don't really have human qualities. I mean, I guess unless a bunch of eyes is considered a human quality. But so let me look up Blue Lotus. It's a 5. All right. The card is number 5 and it's intuition. Now 5 is all about change. Underneath it was tobacco, the offering. That's a 24, which adds up to a 6. All right. But we're going to focus on Blue Lotus right now. And I have a feeling that you need to like offer something up in order to change. Okay. But let's find it. It's an herb of the sun, and it's on page 24, and tobacco is number 24. So it's interesting. Numbers are always a little bit soothing to me. It's like a sign that sometimes when things are going crazy and I feel like just frustrated with not being able to make changes that I want to see the change in. It's like when you're most frustrated, that's usually when change is about to happen and you're getting antsy almost like you can feel that something needs to happen. And that's usually because it's supposed to. And you need to answer that call of when like if you're feeling antsy and you want to change things, then when you get the opportunity, the next opportunity, you need to change that little thing by offering something up, surrendering something about yourself. Okay. So let's read about Blue Lotus. Intuition. Nymphaea cerulea. Nymphaea cerulea. Upright, intuitive knowing, unearthing the subconscious, meeting the guardians of mystery, dream work, initiation. Reversed, suppressed intuition, disbelief, disconnection, moodiness, lack of inspiration, hidden intentions, blockage of psychic powers. And I think that that's kind of the reverse of this is what we've been programmed into, and we need to get back into our intuitive knowing. We always have it. We always have it, but we talk ourselves out of it because our intuitive knowing sometimes gets us told that we're wrong when we're really not, but it's like somebody's opinion rather than the truth. Okay. The astrological ruler is the sun and the moon. So we've got the sun and the moon on our side here. We've got some balance going on with this. Okay. Light and dark. The sacred and mystical blue lotus, regarded as the flower of enlightenment, is an ethnobotanical treasure that has been recorded in ancient scriptures as a heal all and is revered as an ancestral flower in mythological creation stories. Blue lotus is a water lily, best known for its powers of euphoria, intuition, rejuvenation, and aphrodisia. So that's what it is. I think it's euphoria. People use it for like a euphoric sensation, but I think it's sort of like a, yeah, just intuition, enhancing intuition. Blue lotus was associated with the Egyptian sun god Ra, the ruler and bringer of light. It was used in religious rites and ceremonies led by shamanic priests to induce a trance state so one could commune with the gods. It was also used in funerary ceremonies, sorry, after death. It was like a split. It's like funer dash and then okay. Anyway, after the death of a loved one, as blue lotus is said to assist the soul in entering the light. The ancient Maya also revered the blue lotus and other water lilies and referred um to it in Nahuatl as Quetzalcoatl. I- I'm gonna see if this will show up on here to where you can read it yourself. Good up to there, Quetzal, and then I don't know how to pronounce that, okay? Meaning precious water flower. Blue lotus, although revered as the flower of the sun, embodies both solar and lunar elements chemically. It contains a natural antispasmodic and relaxant called Nucifera, moon, along with a porphine, which produces a sense of euphoria and bliss. Sun. Okay. So the Nucifera is the moon. That's the antispasmodic or the relaxant. And the aporphine, which I've never heard of, produces a sense of euphoria and bliss, and that's the sun. These alkaloids, among other medicinal components, bring about pain relief, stress relief, and a lucid awareness, guidance. The blue lotus is a direct doorway, a mediator into the world of the gods. The perfected balance that it bestows us assists us in bridging and refining the divine connection between the heart and brain. Blue Lotus today is assisting you in widening the portals of your intuitive powers, granting you access to the realms of inner knowledge held within the great mystery. Remember, the lotus rises from the depths of muddy waters, untouched and impeccable, to blossom into majestic beauty. Don't allow the muddy waters of the blossoming process to suppress your intuition and belief in yourself. Trust the process and believe in the mystery. Listen deeply to the guardians of mystery as you unfold from darkness. Okay. And tobacco, I'm going to read that. Let's go find tobacco. I'm going to pause it. Okay, tobacco. 24 offering. And it's on page 73, which I add up to be 10. And 10 is the meaning of 10 is like an ending and a new beginning. And that is today's date is the 19th, which also adds up to 10. And it's the ending and a new beginning. It's also the birthday of my youngest daughter and my oldest son. And it is the 1 year that they all get to be teenagers. And so there's like this beginning and ending cycle that I'm reminded of every day because on this day, 19 years ago, was when I began as a mother. And then on this day, 13 years ago, was when that process, it's not that it ended, it's like when it sealed in who I was as a mother. And I completed having my children on that day. So it's a very prominent day in my own personal history. It's just because it has a lot of meaning. Okay. So, 24 tobacco offering. Nicoti Nicotiana tabacum, Nicotiana rusticum. All right. Upright. Power ofrenda, which is offering. Divine gift, invocation, respect, deep alignment with will and purpose. Reversed. Illusion of power, power hungry, lack of respect, inner conflict, addiction, stuck in habits, fear of failure. Astrological ruler, Mars and Pluto. Are these two cards not like it's like here is the problem, this in reverse and the reverse problem here. It's like because there are power hungry people in this world, we have lost our ability to use our intuition. So, okay, so let's see. Tobacco is used among indigenous groups across Americas as an offering to the gods for smoke cleansing, as an offering to the spirits, as a sacred smoke at council meetings, and as a ceremonial juice during vision quests. which people like snort it and stuff like that, and it'll burn like crazy. So they do use tobacco in ceremonial terms as well. Well, I mean, that's how it was started, with ceremonial use. Um, Widely used by shamans in the Amazon called tabaqueros. Tobacco is considered a planta maestra, teacher, master plant. These plants are key to protective spirits and important allies and guides in the healing of humanity. In pre-Columbian North America, different tribes used tobacco ceremonially. The main difference between them and Central and South American tribes is that they smoked tobacco. Page turn. Through a pipe. Various indigenous peoples from the Americas use tobacco for healing a wide range of ailments such as earaches, snake bites, cuts and burns, respiratory disease, fever, convulsions, nervous issues, urinary complaints, skin disease, and parasites. Many traditions hold that tobacco is a protective spirit given to humanity to enable communication with the spirit world. Tobacco is one of the ultimate ofrendas, or sacred offerings to the spirit world. It has been placed on altars and traded among societies for the hundreds of years. It has been used by many indigenous peoples as a symbolic token for sealing peace among tribes. Across time, tobacco has been most commonly used as a smoke, but it can also be used as a strong purgative and an anti-inflammatory, which further mirrors its Mars energetics. Guidance. The gods of power are here to serve, and they demand loving respect. Tobacco reminds us to utilize power compassionately. How we use and direct the power determines the quality of life. Offer your actions as a divine gift selflessly and in service to the sacred. Grandfather Tobacco's protective and powerful energy lovingly opens the doorway to the spirit world to those who ask with humility and respect. Don't allow the illusions of power to ignite destructive behaviors or propel you toward addictive habits. And that's the thing, is like tobacco was this thing that was used as to honor the gods ceremonially. Like it had to be grown, it had to be utilized properly. And it's like you couldn't just smoke it the way that we can now. Now I am a smoker of I'm 43 and I started when I was 9. So it's like for the majority of my life. Now I wouldn't smoke when I was pregnant. I didn't smoke when I was in certain like military schools and things like that because you couldn't. So there's been periods of time when I have stopped, but I've also like I've continued the practice because it has been a practice for me of grounding into my body and like giving me a sense of it gives me a space to be with myself and with nature because I usually smoke outside because a lot of times I'm all up in my head thinking about things. But when I'm thinking and I'm smoking, it's because I usually am doing it for a break. It's like I try to get this much work done and then I'll go and I'll use it as a break and I get to go and look out at things, just kind of like watch birds and things like that. You know, I was talking about birds are messengers. And but if I could grow it, if I could know the natural cycle of it, because I grow cannabis and that's the thing. It's like there's an illusion when you are not taking the time to be in the process of the creation, you are jaded to it. You are jaded. You are judgy. You are like, well, this isn't good enough. You know, it's like, well, it's not good enough because you did not create it. Okay. If you had put the effort in, you would not waste things. And that is like my greatest advice. But who am I to give advice other than just another person? Though I've gone through a lot of difficult things. And the thing that I continually do is just keep trying to create as much as I can because I already know I would rather gripe about my own mistakes than somebody else's that I had paid for convenience. But sometimes in this world we just have to do that thing. But just because we have to doesn't mean that we have to forever. And that's what I suggest to you is to slow it freaking down. Slow it down in this world, okay? I want to give an example, but I'm not going to do it right now because it was just a real funny thing that happened while I was out with my kids today. I want to pull a card from Let Your Light Shine. It's not really what it 101 messages to encourage and inspire, but on the box says let your light shine, and that is Matthew 5:16. What does that mean by way of numbers? That's a 5, change, and a 7, good fortune, I would think is what 7 stands for. But if you want to add 5 and 7 to be 12, and then add 1 plus 2 to be 3, to me, that always means um the start of something very strong. Like a triangle, I think of 3 sides more so than I do the number 3. But 3 is about building. It's about building with real strong foundation, and then you can move up to 4. But Anyway, so this is how you make the world more interesting, and this is how you start paying attention to other things besides just what's going on around you. Let's just read this one. He counts the stars and calls them all by name. Well, that's what you are. You're a star. And that's the thing is like the stars are in a certain alignment when we are born and we are given a name at birth. And that's because our map of life is in the stars. My goodness, they really should have an astrologer at every birth. And that's the thing. It's like with having two kids born on this day does not mean that they are the same children because the stars were all aligned differently. And I want to take the time rather than hiring an astrologer to tell me the charts of me and my family. I have read a book on astrology and I want to utilize that to discover it and to show my children because if you can understand more about yourself and you can understand what your north node is, you will understand why it can be scary to head towards it because you've never done it before. All your stuff in your south node is all of the things that have already happened in your past, but prior really to your life. It's like in your bloodline, in your soul. These are the things that you're already comfortable with. And that's why you'll sit in spaces of what you think is comfortable because it's familiar, but it's just that it's familiar and it's very uncomfortable, but we just keep going back to it because it's what we know. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Now that doesn't have a verse associated with it. It doesn't show a verse, but it's like I would I don't know if God only gives blessings. Oh my goodness. I just dropped most of the deck. Well, not really, maybe a third of it. Hang on. Okay, the one that I was like most noticeable was taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalms 34:8. Now, how can we take that to have meaning, right? If we look at that as like a symbol, taste and see that the Lord is good. What does that mean? A cupcake? It's like, yeah, the Lord allowed cupcakes to be invented, but we need to take a step back from all that stuff. That's the stuff that we're all jaded about. Taste and see. Interesting. How did I do that? Yeah, look, okay. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste and see. Okay. And that's the thing. It's like the watermelons. That's the point. It's like the goodness was grown for us. It was started on this earth before we came here. We didn't really need to change things, but because we are humans that can use our frontal cortex, we like to change things. We like to push boundaries. We like to have options. But now people are getting stressed out about the choices that they have to make because there's so many choices instead of getting stressed out about actions that they have to take. So this taste and see was Psalms 34:8. And this one, taste and see that, okay, it's the same one. Okay, taste and see that the Lord is good. Psalm 34:8. All right, just saying. All right. Well, strange. I don't think that they're like that, but it's 101 messages. So maybe we have some repeaters in there. So I'm going to open up the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed and we're going to see what's at the bottom. I don't think that I know what is at the bottom because I shuffle them, don't look, and then put them in there. So let's see. It's the sun. Now, maybe I did know that. Maybe that was where we left it off with at the last reading. But it seems that the sun is shining on. We've got some feathers here. So, some thoughts. The Action of Swords is what was traditionally known as the Knight of Swords. And they tend to move fast and like not always thought through well. Sometimes they like move fast and kind of just like create damage with words and thoughts and stuff like that. But the fact that there's like wings on that one tells me that there's a message coming in that's moving fast, okay? And the message is about movement. This is the chariot, okay? The message is about movement. It's that you're having to create movement despite all the obstacles because the chariot is an like in this card, it even shows that there's a car here, right? How is she going to get her antlers into the car? I can't imagine how it would fit. But the point is that there's not difficulty in moving forward necessarily, but things that have to work together. Like, do you know how to build a car? If you had nothing, would you know how to build a car? There's a Six of Swords here that's moving forward. So there's movement. We are getting a lot of movement, okay? And a lot of it, it's like the message about, so we have the major arcana of movement, which is the chariot. But the message is about where, oh, I just split it on that. That's not one of the cards that came out, but we had the action of swords, and now we have the Six of Swords. So the Knight of Swords and the Six of Swords, this is about moving away from old stuff. It's like, yeah, it's still in the boat with you because you can't just start out something fresh without having thoughts. Even behind that is the Four of Swords card, and that's about like this meditative process that we have to do sometimes to find the truth, to find the one sort of truth, right? And it's like, let's see what else is going on here. We have the Mastery of Cups. We have the Nurturer of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Teacher, the Nine of Coins, and the Eight of Cups. This is movement, 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 and it's all about cups and swords. So it's the Eight of Cups is about forward movement when it comes to emotional lack that you've experienced, or heartbreak, or all these different things that weren't fulfilling. It's not like you have a ton of happiness, so you move on forward. It's that usually it's because you've tried. You've tried eight different times at least, right? So it could be like eight real points of heartbreak for you, and not just in relationships when it comes to like a romantic relationship. It's about things that were supposed to work out because you're told that if you follow the plan things can work out. Well, you've done those things, and it's like no matter what, they didn't work out, and it was outside of your circumstances, like something that you couldn't control. So regardless, you had to like move forward. And it's like that can be so emptying, can be so devastating when it's like, what am I supposed to do? And when I keep trying. Oh, we do have a Nine of Coins, so that's beautiful. All right, we have the Mastery of Cups, which is like high level, but we have it with the Nurture of Cups because we have the Five of Cups here. And that's like this sorrow of where people are sad right now because it's like we're all just trying to live in the world that was created before us, and we're doing our best to do so. It's like if you don't follow along in the path of what the rest of the world is doing, you are looked at as an outsider and somewhat of like an enemy or a nerd or just someone who doesn't fit in. And it's like you can choose to be a little bit sorrowful and lonely on that path. When I stopped it, it was at 22 minutes and 20 seconds. And then I like quickly turned over to 22 minutes and 22 seconds. And I think that there is a coming together with the people who want to solve problems in this world. But the thing is that we can't fix problems, okay? Because problems start from one core thing and then they spiral out. So it's never optimal to try to fix things that are broken. It is best to start over, look at where they broke, and rewind it back to figure out like, okay, what was the problem in the creation of this thing in the first place? It's like, how come necklaces are still being made with the clasps at the back and then they want to turn around? It's like those are the type of inventions that I like to make when it comes to thinking about like making new inventions. It's like, let's not make the same inventions with the same mistakes and flaws and problems in them. Let's make something new. Don't worry about getting market approval for it. I think that's part of the problem is like having book editors and things like that. When you have people editing your work, it's not it's not authentic to you, and you need to step away from that. You need to step away from the concept that there's anything that's wrong, okay? There is no right or wrong. It's how people utilize it. Every symbol, a knife can be used to stab somebody or to like cut your dinner, right? So it's like, how do you see and use symbols? That's what needs to change. It's not the symbol itself. It's like, okay. So let's talk about this. There's there's this mastery phase, but there's the nurturer is needed in order to heal the heartbreak that's going on. It's like you do have to nurture yourself, and the only way to nurture yourself is allow yourself time to think about what is it that you're feeling inside. Like, don't point blame at things. Just think about what has never been fulfilled within you that you're still calling for. There's a teacher within you. There's a teacher within you. This is like the scribe of all time. He's been recording all of history. That's what it reminds me of. And it's like everything that you need to know, that teacher is within you. So you are abundant because you have the teacher within you. It's like, yeah, coins can Coins seem like a great thing to have. A lot of money seems like a great thing to have. But look at the state of the world, of what it has done, of what people have done with the money that they have. It's like it might be sad to walk away from the concept of money and stuff, but it's not fulfilling. And I think part of what the sorrow is that we don't know how to walk away. We don't know how to get ourselves out of the mess that we are in. And the best thing that you can do is start to pull back, start to eliminate things just little by little without making it a real conscious effort in a plan. Just every day, like what do you do there? Because we're all at different stages. It's like, do you need to get off of social media? Then start to spend more time. It's like you have to have a replacement. If you ever try to quit smoking or something, you have to have a replacement activity so that you don't just start eating or whatever. It's like if you're going to drop a habit, you need to pick one up because energy is never created or nor destroyed. It's just recycled. So you need to recycle your own energy from one habit into something else. Okay. And as the seasons are changing right now, one of the greatest things that you can do is just look around you in your environment. Now, I know personally, I live in a place where there's snow, then it melts, and then you see garbage all over the place. That is one of the greatest places to start, is just to not accept garbage. It's to not accept garbage people in your environment. And it's not really the people, it's the behaviors in which they are exhibiting. And that is, if you want to know how to change the world, that's how you change the world. Okay. If people are being, if people are doing something that could possibly hurt somebody else, whether it be like emotionally or physically, or they're putting somebody else at risk with their behaviors and just not realizing it, you have to get strong. And it's not in your ego, because anytime you go to confront a problem, your ego is going to flare up inside. And so what you need to do is just just start practicing some little beneficial behaviors that go against what the ego would do. The ego would not pick up a piece of garbage on the ground. Okay, it's not like that. So you need to fight against your ego little by little, because you don't even realize how much control it has over your life, but really it has like complete control over your life. Okay, that's what spirals us into these problems without knowing, is that we're trying to keep up with something that we don't really need to keep up with. All right. So I just split it again, and we have the cosmic seed. And I am going to read that one because this one is special to this deck. And I think that it's the cosmic seed that we all need to plant right now. And this should be our last card. So let me find it. Okay, I'm going to read 2 pages from the book because it's like the introduction page. It says, "What is the cosmic seed?" The cosmic seed is representative of you and me. We are infinite. And that's what I was saying about all the 222s that I was seeing, is that we are all connected. We are all connected. You can't do one thing in this life without it affecting somebody else. We are infinite cosmic spirits enmeshed in sacred flesh for a time on this magnificent planet Earth. We are seeds of pure potential, here to grow and learn and share our magic with each other. Tarot of the Cosmic Seed is a vibrant and diverse spiritual tool, a bridge to the mysterious and the esoteric, as well as a guide to the everyday. Okay, so now I'm going to flip to the actual page for it. This is it's card number 22. Okay. The cosmic seed, electron, source, potential. The cosmic seed is a seed of infinite potential. It exists in the quantum realm and can move between dimensions, realities, in all directions and through matter. It is the intelligence from which all ideas and things are created. This card is a reminder of your superpower. You have access to the infinite in every moment. What are you creating with your thought, power, and influence? Reversal possibilities, need to expand your vision, unwilling to accept power and responsibility. That's the thing. If you have ever criticized a leader, I'm just seeing the world is right under that. And the 7 of Coins is under that. It's about growing. It's about growing a new world when it comes to our ideas of what material abundance looks like. It's like that we need to go into the like cosmos for answers instead of looking for a product. for the answer. Okay. It's destroying us as a people to go and look for products as answers. And this is what we need to understand is that there is a whole space that we don't even understand. This is like the dream world. What in the heck are we doing? I always find it so strange that we are the first rechargeable devices and that nobody ever talks about this. That, like, our phones, we have to plug them in to recharge, we have to put batteries into things. How in the world do we recharge off of sleep? What is going on in there? And how come just laying down without getting into the delta space of brainwaves it doesn't work the same? Have you ever laid in bed super tired and you're just like praying to be able to fall asleep and yet you can't, even though you're super tired? What is that? What is that? Does that mean that we're supposed to get up and do something if we can't sleep anyway? Because I think maybe it's supposed to be. But I there's plenty of people, and I think I read it in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, about how people utilize the sleep world, or they'll go and take a nap when they need like inspiration for something, or they'll just do it in sleep. There's like plenty of inventors and creators who do that because we do not understand where our like consciousness goes off to, but the people who do understand it are using it to their advantage. They don't care whether people believe in them or not. They don't care if they have a billion followers, but because what they were doing works for them, you know? So I'm going to leave it here. There's definitely more to talk about with this because what I want to do is give you ideas of what you can do with this. So tomorrow I'm going to do a reading without the cards. It's not a reading. It's just so you can see that sometimes what I want to do in this life is to drop stigmas on things, right? I have tattoos, but I was also like a secretary and a mother and all these different things. And it's like what I am, the energy of who I am and what I am, it's in all things that I do. So there is nothing ever that is going to make me evil just because I do it. A tarot card does not make me evil. A tattoo does not make me evil. Growing cannabis does not make me evil. It's not going to be that way ever, ever, ever in my life. Okay. There's like, I have respect for all things and I see symbolism and meaning because I do not want to be controlled and programmed by things. And yet it's inevitable. It's inevitable that we are going to be programmed by society, even if we go at a slower pace than the others around us. Because it's like I never wanted to use a cell phone and yet I have to do it, right? I don't have to, but those are the things. If I desire to live in a world with no cell phones, I can't just start that today. I can't. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to work well. Though I could try, but that's not the way that I want to get there. But it's out there for people. And so I just want to give you ideas. Like my brain is great at coming up with ideas for solutions, always, always. And so, that's what I would like to use this channel for too, is to help to give you ideas on what you can do that won't feel embarrassing. And it's a growth process, but really what it is, it's a retraction process back into times into practices and habits when things were better, before we had so much choice, before, you know, we didn't it's like if we were natural humans, we'd have to migrate during the winters, you know what I mean? Or like bed down into a cave or something. It's like we have created all these structures and inventions around us to be able to stay in places when we are not supposed to stay in them, okay? And so we have to figure out how in our own lives do we get back to that, all right? So start picking up garbage in your environment around you. Do not accept it. Do not just walk by it and be like, I can't believe somebody would do that. You are just as bad if you are walking by it. All right. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. I love you. Bye.